Hey yo, what's going on with the viewers of the tube? Tyler here of Chico Crypto, coming to you guys with a candid video on this Wednesday midweek hump day. And Bitcoin is humping and bumping too. It's so volatile this past week. Pump and dumps galore. But as of right now, Bitcoin is starting to trend back up. We had some big news from the Bank of England. Basically, they're going to resume quantitative easings and some bond buying. But I'm probably going to get into that with the video here later in the week. So I don't want to go too deep. But I do want to talk about me selling a large chunk of my cryptocurrency. Dun dun dun. Is it happening right now? Hell no. Am I selling at these lows? But I really want to talk about a plan, because a plan for this next run is going to be muy importante. So before this last bull run, I had a solid plan, and it went like this. Once Bitcoin broke the old all-time high, I would start cashing out 10% of my stack, and every 10k past that, I would begin cashing out 10% more. So once it passed 20k, I wouldn't sell any, but once it reached 30k, I would cash out 10%. 40k, another 10%. When it went to 50k, another 10%. 60k, 10%. 70%, or 70k, 10%. All the way up, But did I do this? No, I did not. I was foolish. If I would have stuck to my plan, Bitcoin this last run reached, 70k. If I would have stuck to my gosh dang plan, I would have cashed out 50% of my portfolio, and I'd be sitting on millions and millions of dollars instead of watching it crumble down to, just over $1 million. I was a fool. I didn't even stick to my own plan, because just like a lot of people in the space, I got caught up in the bull run hype. Once it started ripping, I was like, why would I sell, What's the point of selling? I'm going to make a lot more once Bitcoin reaches 100k and beyond. Well, Bitcoin didn't reach 100k. It only reached 70k. And I could have deployed those multi-millions of dollars right now at these bear market lows, and then, been able to 4x, 10x, even 15x my stack instead of watching it crumble down 70, 80% like most people in the space. It's a big mistake that I regret. And I am not going to make that same mistake again. So we should be creating a plan right now to when you are going to cash out and why, Well, the why is because Bitcoin, it goes up and down seriously. So when it is going up, you need to think about cashing out on a set schedule. So, what is my plan this time? What am I going to do? Well, it's slightly different, but similar to last time. I'm not going to cash out this time at the old all-time high. So if I was going to stick to my plan last time, I'd begin cashing out once it passed 70k, and I'd begin my first cash out at 80k, doing 10%. I'm not going to do that. As we saw this last bull cycle, we hit, just above 60k, and then we double topped just above 60k, near 70k. So it's possible that we have another top like that again. We reach near 60k, and then we retrace back down. So I'm going to begin cashing out actually at 50k this time. I will begin cashing out slightly differently, not as much, I'm gonna cash out 5% when we reach 50k, 5% when we reach 60k, and then 5% when we reach 70k. but I will start increasing that once we pass the old all-time high. So when we reach 80K, I will cash out 10%. When we reach 90K, I'll cash out another 10%. And if we reach 100K, I'll cash out another 10%. So that would mean, you know, if we reach 100K, I would have 45% of my portfolio cashed out. That's gonna be a lot of money, and I'll be happy that I did in case it retraces. But if it goes past 100K, which is highly possible, I'm going to slow down my sells because I'm gonna wanna capture that value. 100K is going to be a big resistance point for Bitcoin once we reach it. So it's going to be maybe it blows past it, maybe it comes crashing down. But if it blows past it, I want to capture some of those gains. So I will slow it down back down to 5% for every 10K past 100K. So once it reaches, you know, 110K, I'll have 50% of my portfolio cashed out. 120K, 55%. 130K, 60%. 140K, 65. 150K, you know, 70, and so on and so forth. I believe this is a very solid plan in my opinion, because I've made some estimations of when, you know, Bitcoin is going to reach some of these numbers. So I have a feeling that Bitcoin is going to reach back up to 50K. That's when I'm going to, you know, start cashing out right after that. I have predicted that Bitcoin is going to reach that number in March, around the Bitcoin halving, which happens in March of 2024. So I will begin my cash out just right after the Bitcoin halving, and, you know, cash out according to that plan on the way up. Now I have a prediction regarding the Bitcoin peak. I have a prediction that it is going to peak out in December of 2025, and I've predicted that Bitcoin would reach about 150K. If that is the case, you know, I will have about 70% of my portfolio cashed out at the peak. I mean, there's a possibility that it does keep going, you know, up towards 180K, 200K, and if that is the case, you know, then I'm going to still have some skin in the game and I can get some of those gains. So again, you guys, you gotta have a cash out plan. You know, you have to have it set in stone right now, and I'm setting mine in stone right now. I'm not going to be a fool like the last bull run. Many of us were fools. We're going to get smarter, we're going to get better, and we're going to keep on pushing forward. But the final thing I want to talk about is that stinky link. So I made a video about it yesterday, which ended up doing pretty bad. One of my worst videos I've posted in a long time. So I want to talk to people who watch this video about what I predicted. So I predicted in that video yesterday that Chainlink was going to announce two major things. Number one, they're going to announce the release of staking when it was going to start, and that actually happened today. Sergey announced that staking version 0.1 would be launching in December of this year, and they actually have an early access program, which is based off of your activity. So if you've been using Chainlink, you've been, you know, helping out the protocol, setting up oracles, you know, probably maybe getting some link pool might have something to do with it. But if you do some of the things involved, you know, with your Web3 wallet, then you will have early access to staking, which happens in December. But I also predicted that they would be releasing the testnet of CCIP, their cross-chain interoperability protocol. That hasn't happened yet. It's going to probably happen tomorrow because Synthetics is presenting on their synthetic teleporters, which use CCIP, and basically Synthetics has said that the testnet for the teleporters would be coming out in October, mid-October, and if they're going to have a testnet, Chainlink CCIP definitely needs a testnet. So I have a feeling the testnet for CCIP will be announced tomorrow. Well, you guys, again, I'm going to be cashing out, a large chunk of my portfolio. If Bitcoin reaches, 180, 190K, I will have 90% of my portfolio cashed out. And don't necessarily follow my plan, think of your own plan, do your own research, but my plan could be a good starting point. Cheers, guys. I will see you next time.